You woke up suddenly when you felt cold water poured on you. Your body was shaking uncontrollably, and your hand was tied on both sides of the chair you were sitting in. A blindfold on your eyes darkens your vision, but you heard the voice the man who kidnapped you. Do you think she's still alive? I did not even knock her out that pretty hard, he said to someone talking with him. There is one more person present in the room, but you weren't able to see anything because of the blindfold. Your body was hurting so bad, as if someone had beaten you badly. You felt exhausted and only remember when you were returning from your work, someone covered your mouth and nose. You tried to fight, but you lost consciousness after that. Didn't I tell you to not to touch her, Bob? Why did you beat her, huh? Now be ready for the consequences from the boss, you fool, the man shouted angrily at the person who kidnapped you. She kicked me in the guts. What do you think? If I did not stop her, she might shout and run away, so I don't have any other option. I had to weaken her, the man said in his defense. I think they are just a bunch goons of the person who wants to kidnap me and their boss is someone else. But why did someone want to kidnap an orphan like me? I didn't do anything bad. I'm just a normal girl who works at a small corporate firm for a living. My life already sucked, and now this happens. Are they really going to kill me? What did I do to get this? All the questions keep circling in my head until suddenly I heard the heavy steps of another person on the stairs coming my way. Where is she? The man asked to them who just came into the room with his deep and husky voice, and it sounds similar to you. Maybe he is the boss of them. You fought because of his authoritative tone. You feel crouching down in front of you, and you flinch when you feel his hand touching your face, and you wince because of the wounds from the slapping earlier. How did you dare to lay your hand on her when I told you not to do anything? The man got up and looked at the person who kidnapped you and brought you here, and Bob's face turned pale looking at his boss. Boss, I didn't want. I was. Although your vision was darkened, still you closed your eyes tightly, gripping the chair when you hear the loud noise of the trigger being pulled and a lifeless body landed on the cold, dirty floor of the room. You scrunched your nose and wanted to puke because of the smell of the blood hit your senses. Maybe I'm going to die soon, you thought. Remove the body out of the sight. I don't want trash in my basement, Jimin, said the man who killed the guy earlier with no emotion latched in his voice, like he has no remorse for taking someone's life so easily. You heard the other man, whose name is Jimin, sighing, dragging the body out of the room with him. But your lips trembled in fear when you left alone with the crazy man in the room. His warm breath hit your face. He roughly removed the blindfold, and you blinked several times before adjusting your vision at the only light source in the room. Your eyes widened when you saw the person standing in front of you, looking at you with an unreadable expression on his face. Jungkook. You whisper in low tone, feeling weak but enough to reach his ears. The feelings which buried in your heart for so long surface when you see his handsome face again after so long. He is the only reason still you can't able to love someone, because he already took your heart with him when he disappeared from your life 5 years ago. Your hand was tied on both sides, otherwise you have jumped on him already to hug him after seeing him so many years, but he surprised you by grabbing your jaw harshly, and you winced when his nails sunk into your face. Don't you dare to say my name from your mouth, you slave. He spat in your face roughly and pushed it away, looking at you with his anger, which made you fear of him. For the first time you stared at him silently, all shocked. He's not my bunny. He's not the Jungkook I used to know, the boy I knew was a sweet and calm person. How did this happen? He has his face, but his personality changed. The Jungkook I knew will never hurt me like this. So what happened to him? Good to see you all weak like this in front of me again after 5 years, slave. He said, breaking your trance of the thought you got lost in. You didn't like the word he called you repeatedly. Why are you calling me that, Jungkook? You asked with hurt expression. Seeing him like this broke your heart. He never talked to you rudely like this before. He grabbed the chair near him, ignoring your previous question, sat close to you, and untied the rope both of your hands. You rubbed your thumb over the marks to soothe the pain, while he looked at you smirking, sitting back in his seat. Didn't I tell you not to take my name? Master is what you are going to call me from now on, and will obey my order. What? Is he out of his mind? What he's saying? Slave and master? Did he kidnap me to be a slave? What are you saying, Jungkook? Slave don't ask questions. They just obey the order of their masters, and you are my slave now. So you don't have any right to ask anything. Did you get that? He looking at you like throwing those daggers with so much hate. But what I did wrong for you to treat me like this? What do you want from me? You screamed, feeling frustrated over his weird behavior towards you. You love him, but that doesn't mean you let him treat you like this, especially when you don't know what's your fault. The hatred towards you in his eyes, killing you from inside each second. I'll make your life hell because seeing you suffer gives me pleasure. You frowned at his this time. What the I did, and why he's so angry with me? I did not remember anything. He was the one who was disappeared from my life even before I able to confess my feelings to him at his death party. I should be the one angry at him, and he's not like the way he was before. You have changed. You spat out each word bitterly, feeling hurt, and his smile disappeared, staring at you with his cold, piercing gaze of him. I'm glad you noticed. I'm not the weak boy you used to know, and not the person whom you make fool out of easily, not anymore. I never saw you as a weak person and never did wrong. In fact, you left me without saying anything. You said with tears threatening to fall out from your eyes. Still trying to act innocent like you didn't know what you did, but I'm not going to believe you. I didn't. Before you can say anything, he injects a needle in your neck. You tried to stop, but soon the blackness surrounded your vision. You speak a lot being a slave, so no food for you tonight. You were only able to hear that. After that, you lost consciousness, submitting yourself to the darkness. You open your eyes, trying to move, but your hands were still tied, also to your legs. Fortunately, you have not blindfolded anymore, so you can see you are in one room, not in a basement anymore, more precisely tied to a bed. So you finally woke up. I guess good morning, then, or should I say good afternoon. You looked to the side. Jungkook was peacefully seated on the bean bag, enjoying his cup of coffee while staring at you. What a creep, you mumbled under your breath. Why he's behaving like a psycho? Did he say something? Keeping the cup aside, he gets up, sitting on the edge of the bed. He tries to touch your hair, but you back away. Still feisty, he said. Nothing, master. He smiled at you in triumph for calling him what he wanted, and you cursed under the bed to yourself. Now you are following my orders like a good slave. I like it. He patted your cheek softly. So I let you eat something. But what? You questioned. You have to make lunch for me and Jimin. After that, clean the whole house, wash all the dishes and also the clothes in the laundry. Until you did all these things, you can't touch the food. Did you get it? Your mouth is left agape when he is listing down all the work you have to complete before having something to eat. What's the time again? It's noon already. And you didn't eat anything since yesterday, so you feel hungry. Do you have any problem? You contemplate but sighed in mind and eventually got to agree because you don't have any other option, or you do? No, master. He freed you from the rope tied to your hands and legs. Good. And don't you try to escape this place now. I have untied the ropes because if you try, you'll not be alive. My bodyguards will kill you, and I won't stop them. You know he's just trying to threaten you, so you'll stay with him because if he wanted to kill you, he had done it by now. But he just wants to torture you for a reason you don't know yet, and you obeyed him because you want to know what the reason. What was happening with Jungkook, why he hates you so much, and what had made him cruel like this. To find all of that out, you have to obey his every order so he believes that you are in his control now. After preparing the lunch, you settle all the food on the table one by one in front of him, and you were just standing as he didn't permit you to sit. The other person, Jimin, was sitting opposite of him, eating the food vigorously, but Jungkook didn't start yet. He was looking at the food with unreadable expression on his face. The next moment he got up from his seat and the chair fell backward at the rash act. He threw away his plate of food and other dishes furiously on the floor. Who told you to make this, huh? He looked at you as the rage flowed over his body. You flinched and looked at him, shuddering in fear. You just made his favorite dish to please him. He likes it so much before. You always made it just for him in the college, so why he is looking at so angry with it now? I thought you'll love. He cut you, grabbing both sides of your arms harshly and looking into your eyes with so much hate and anger. You tried to get off his grip, which was getting tight each second passes but failed. You are hurting me, Jungkook. You cried, trying to push him away from you, but he's stronger than you. Jungkook, he shouted, but Jungkook ignored. Don't call my name, you slave. He pushed you and you stumbled backwards, tapping on the shirt of the broken plate and tearing your skin apart. Jungkook, enough! Stop it! You have lost your mind? Jimin gets up from his seat, trying to separate Jungkook away from you, but he jerked away his hand. You stay out of this, Jimin. You don't know anything, so you better not to interfere between me and her. He said with a warning tone. Jimin looked at him with the concern in his eyes, trying to stop him, but Jungkook didn't care. He looked back at you, clenching his jaw. What do you think of yourself, huh? You keep disobeying my orders. Did I tell you to make this? I don't like it. I hate everything you used to do for me, related to you. Did you hear? He shouted. Listening to this broke your heart into million pieces and you shut your eyes tightly. More than that, pierced off the shard in your feet. His words were hurting you, so you covered your ears as he kept shouting, kneeling on the floor. Jungkook, stop it! God, just look at her feet are bleeding. At this, Jungkook came out of his trance and looked at the white floor covered in the blood. In his eyes became normal with not anger anymore, and he backed away, instantly looking at guilty. Jimin came forward to look at your feet, and Jungkook stared at you from the place he is standing, clenching his hand in a tight fist at his side. You stare at him back with tears in your sight, trying to find the old Jungkook you used to know, but he broke eye contact, leaving both you alone, while Jimin busy seeing your injured feet. Look what you did now. We have to call the doctor. Looking for Jungkook. Where did he go? Jimin looked back at you with a questioning gaze, but you didn't reply, ducking your head. Not good with the people after all. They are not only the strangers, but mafia. Hey, it's okay. You can trust me. I'll not hurt you. Is your foot wound deep? Looking at the feet. I won't touch you if you won't allow me. But I just want to know if you can walk by yourself. He asked carefully, not to scare you as you were already scared enough because of Jungkook, but you allowed him to help you to walk you but to room as he doesn't look like a rude person but friend. Jimin already called their special doctor special because Jimin said that she works for them and treat their injured man sometimes, but Jungkook is her main patient. Huh, patient? Why? The woman entered the room in blue dress. By her silhouette she looks familiar, but you weren't able to remember her name. She bandaged it as the wound is not that deep, but you can't move from the bed until it's healed properly. Jimin left you both of your privacy as she was checking the other wounds on your body which inflicted by your kidnappers who were already killed by Jungkook's hands. Do you still remember me? She asked carefully after sitting down beside you and trying to recall where you have seen her before. I mean, you look familiar, but I don't know your name, sorry. You said you don't want to sound rude or anything since she knows you, but you can't remember her. It's okay, we were not friends back then in college. Giving you a reassuring smile. Hi, my name is Jung Sujung. You can call me Crystal. Jung Sujung. Yes, you now remember her. She is Jungkook's neighbor. You have a full interaction with her whenever you spend time at his house back then. She went to the same university as you and Jungkook and was a senior majoring in medicine. Maybe now she is a doctor. That's why she is treating you. Ah, I remember you now, Miyane. You smiled at her apologetically. Glad to see you again, but didn't expect you to see you like this in this situation. Look, Ryan, if you feel I can help you from here, please do contact me. I can let you out of here. She slided a spare phone under the blanket and you looked at him in shock. And why do you want to help me? You raised a question and didn't understand her intentions. I can't see you in this situation, Ryan. Jungkook is crazy. He is not the same as he used to. And I think you don't deserve to live like this. But how? And before you can say anything, Jimin entered the room with the bodyguard. Sujung gets up from her seat, gives you a knowing smile, and left the room with them, leaving you all alone and confused. Finally, you were out of the house because Jungkook had brought you saying, "We need some clothes for you for a event." Thank God you are not alone with him. Jimin is there too. If anything goes wrong, you trust Jimin for that. But who brought so many bodyguards with them to a mall? Most of them were carrying the guns, and the glances the normal visitor were giving made you a little bit uncomfortable. And you can understand his purpose as he said the staff to brought you every dress in their store. Just want to piss you off by making you try to every dress in their store. After trying so many dresses and he keeps rejecting them like he just loved to see you suffer sitting on that couch staring at you with a cold face and judging eyes. He doesn't want something too flashy, just simple for a party. So you finally wore something at the suggestion of the staff and made you wait to see him. He was busy on the phone, but the moment he looked at you, his phone dropped from his hand and got up from the couch, mouth open as he looking at you without blinking. You felt conscious as you checked yourself. What is it? Why are you looking at me like that? He didn't say anything while still looking at you with his unfazed gaze, so Jimin cleared his throat and Jungkook came out of his trance, breaking the eye contact with you. I know your girl is beautiful. Can you stop her? Here we are in mall, for God's sake. I'm starving. He mumbled in his, but you heard it clearly, so blush scraped on your cheeks. Jungkook glared at Jimin but did not say anything, got up abruptly after picking up his phone from the floor. Final this one and carry all the other things to the car. We are leaving in few minutes. He said to all the bodyguards trying to act as if he got a call, leaving the place, and Jimin looked at him with a mischievous smile. You finally changed your clothes and were looking for Jungkook and Jimin. Both of them were nowhere to be found. So you asked the bodyguard and they told you that Jimin went to bring something to eat and Jungkook did not come back yet. So you decided to wait for them, but someone touched your shoulder and you turned to see the person and white smile appear on your face. What are you doing here, Minu Oppa? You hugged the person tightly because seeing him after so many years. He is a senior who used to help you a lot back then in your college. I'm glad to see you, Ryan. I came here with my wife. It's our first wedding anniversary, so we decided to celebrate, but she got busy with her shopping and I was roaming around when I saw you. You broke the hug and looked at him smiling. He showed you the bags full of his wife's clothes with his silly smile. He looked happy. Wow, it's already 1 year and you didn't even tell me about this. How rude, Oppa, but happy anniversary. Thanks and sorry, I can't contact you as everything happens in a hurry. Then I moved to Canada and just came here to meet the parents to celebrate it with family. It's okay, Oppa, I was joking, you take it seriously. Okay, enough about me. Tell me about yours. What are you doing here, Ryan? And why there's so many bodyguards with you? Your smile disappeared and he saw it, but before you can reply him, a hand aggressively pulled you towards him and it was Jungkook who punched Minho in the face. Your eyes widened in surprise at sudden attack. How dare you to touch her again, jerk! He shouted, grabbing Minho's collar harshly and pushing him on the ground. You come out of the trance when you saw Jungkook punching Minho mercilessly, who was on the floor trying to dodge the powerful punches. So without any weight, you grabbed Jungkook's arm and tried to separate him from Minho. Jungkook, stop! What are you doing? Are you crazy? But Jungkook jerked your hand harshly and was not stopping. Fortunately, you saw Jimin coming your way, so you got up and ran towards him for help. Help him, otherwise Jungkook will kill him. What happened, Ryan? Why are you looking so stressed? And who is killing who? He held both of your shoulders, looking at you with concern. You pointed towards the direction and Jimin immediately left. You followed him from behind. What the hell? What are you guys enjoying the fight? Come here and help me to separate them, you doofus. Jimin shouted at the bodyguards and all of them held Jungkook trying to separate him from Minho. While you were standing behind looking at everything with anxious face, you had no idea what was the reason Jungkook's impulsive behavior. They were able to stop the fight somehow where Jimin was helping Minho and 4 bodyguards held Jungkook away from them. Soon the security told us to leave the place, but next moment Jungkook dragged you with him towards his car, grabbing your arm harshly, and you tried to stop, but he didn't stop to your pleadings. Get in the car right now. You reluctantly sat in the car in fear and he drove it as fast speed. You were gripping at the seatbelt for your dear life. Please slow down, Jungkook. You begged him politely with trembling voice because he was driving so fast that can't able to open your eyes in fear. He didn't look at you, but you can see his eyes were red and his neck veins were about to pop out from the pressure he was putting, clenching his jaw in anger. What had happened in between the moment you went the fitting room to change? But next moment, Jungkook! Jungkook! Jungkook!